spray tan, waxing, teeth bleaching, and Botox. What do all of these things have in common? Yes, they're beauty regimens. However, adults aren't the only ones partaking in these beauty regimens. Young children are as well. And this is only a small portion of what goes into preparing a little girl when entering a child beauty pageant. Now, while child beauty pageants do have some positive aspects, they are completely overshadowed by the negative impacts that they can also have. And while everyone may not have a daughter, there are plenty of people with siblings, nieces, and cousins who would like to enter into the pageant scene. But we need to be fully aware of the world that they are entering. Because according to Martina Cartwright, in a 2011 article from Psychology Today entitled Child Beauty Pageants, What Are We Teaching Our Girls?, states that many experts agree that participation in activities that focus on physical appearance at an early age can impact teen and/or adult self-esteem, body image, and self-worth. And while I myself have never competed in a beauty pageant, I have been following this discussion for a while and have done a lot of research into this topic while preparing for this speech. So first, we're going to actually talk about the impacts that pageants can have, then talk about some real-world solutions that have been taken against this question, before finally coming up with our own concrete answer to solve this problem. To begin, let's get into more detail about the specific impacts these pageants have. Now, due to the nature of these competitions, they can sometimes lead girls to gain an unhealthy image of their body, as well as place them in danger. Now, in perceptions of child beauty pageants and their impacts, What Lies Beyond the Tiara, written by Jessica Kelly and Lance Garman in 2016, they reported a study that was conducted in 2005, where the researchers interviewed 20 former child pageant contestants and compared them to women who had not been in pageants. And what they found was that these women had higher rates of body dysfunction, interpersonal distrust, and impulse regulation problems. Now, no matter the intention, these pageants have caused these girls to have long-lasting consequences. And we need to be aware of this because even though girls may not always have the same experience, these girls still have to deal with these long-lasting consequences, and we need to take that into consideration. Now, on top of their bodies having a lower image of their bodies, it can also place them in danger of other people. One major example is JonBenet Ramsey. And if you are not aware, JonBenet Ramsey was a 6-year-old girl who was murdered on December 25, 1996. Now, and her murder was never solved. Now, many people believe that the reason she was murdered had to do with the fact that she was very popular in the pageant scene at that time. And while this may seem like a very extreme example, I put it in the speech to highlight the worst outcome that can come when entering these pageants. And not only are these girls in danger of being physically hurt, they are also in danger of being sexualized. In 2011, the TV show Toddlers and Tiaras fell into a huge controversy when they aired a little girl dressed up as Julia Roberts' character from Pretty Woman. And if you are not aware, that character is a prostitute. The costume included a short blonde wig, a crop top, a mini skirt, and thigh-high black boots, and tons of makeup to top it off. The impact there is pretty self-explanatory. And according to Toddlers and Tiaras and Sexualizing 3-Year-Olds, written by Melissa Henson in 2011, she states, girls' exposure to hypersexualized media can negatively impact their cognitive and emotional development. So not only are we impacting these girls we are again impacting these girls mentally and making it harder for them to grow up, when at this time they should be enjoying their youth and not be afraid of being physically harmed or sexualized by other people. Now that we have explained the impacts, how would the ban actually work? And for reference, we can look to France. In 2013, France actually did ban childhood pageants until girls reached the age of 16. And in France's Senate votes to ban child beauty pageants, written by Angela Charlton in 2013, she shares the reason why French lawmaker Chantal Junot wanted them to ban pageants, stating that children between 6 and 12 need to concentrate on acquiring knowledge. And I fully agree with that as well. At this time, we need to encourage girls to take part in more academic activities, such as debate, choir, or sports. Because if we allow these girls to be judged more on their talent and ability instead of their beauty, it will hopefully encourage more young girls to be more confident in themselves instead of being less confident while also protecting themselves. Now, what can we do as citizens? Well, the first thing we need to do is go out and write to our senators. We need to share all of this research and prove to them that this is an issue that needs to be dealt with now. Because these girls, while it may not seem important in the moment, the lasting impacts that these pageants can have can no longer be continued. We need to tell them that we don't want to ban them overall because they do allow the idea of competition, but we just need to ban it until they are safe enough to compete like France did. Now, many people say that child beauty pageants aren't all just about beauty, that it's also based on talents like gymnastics, as well as being answered to the question too. And this tends to be these people who don't want them banned as their impervious shield. Now, I disagree with that because people would not spend all this time getting their girls ready and would not spend all this money on the girls if it wasn't a factor that was considered. If they wanted it more about the girls' talent, they would then make it a talent show, not have separate things about dress and all that other kind of stuff. So, in conclusion, I hope that I have explained to you why we need to ban child beauty pageants. We explored how it can impact a girl mentally and physically, explained how it has been different ways that it's been done in the world, and found a way that we can adapt it so that we can also use it in America. Hopefully, with all this action taken, we can have a new generation of girls who are proud of themselves and believe that they are princesses not because of their looks, but because of their mind and intellect. Thank you.